What's up, friends? Sleepy here, and today I'm going to tell you how to randomize Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, or X and Y. It works for both. This is only a tutorial on how to use pk3DS, pretty much. I will do a tutorial eventually on how to dump your own OROS ROM. Do not ask me for a ROM. I will do a tutorial eventually on how to decrypt an OROS or XY ROM. Don't ask me for that either, okay? Those are two big things. I will do a tutorial on them. If you do not currently know how to dump your own ROM or decrypt it, now is a terrible time to ask. Right now, I am going to tell you what to do with a dumped decrypted ROM. You have folders, obviously, in your decrypted ROM. We're going through our files. You have EXE and ROMFS. Now, this might be EXEFS, but for pk3DS, it needs to be EXE. This is pretty much just a bunch of that stuff, and then ROMFS is the stuff that has all of the GARCs that have pretty much everything in them. And then these are all just, this is all information in the game. All of this is just different information from the game. There is a way to tell what each of these does, but with pk3DS, you don't exactly need any of that. This also is not a tutorial on how to repack an OROS ROM. So again, I will eventually do tutorials on all of these things, but this is not going to be the time when I do that. First of all, I'd also like to give credits to everyone involved. Mostly Kaphotics, SciresM, KazoWAR, a little bit of credit to Hunter B. And thanks to all of these people, this is pretty much what made any of this possible. This right here is pk3DS. A link to the page where you can download it will be in the description. That is on Project Pokemon. Fantastic work, fantastic people that make all of this possible. This is pretty much all of the stuff that will allow you to randomize or even normally edit. These are text editors. You can edit text. This is a trainer editor, which will edit the Pokemon. Mason editor, Mega Evo editor, item editor, move editor. These all do a lot of things. I'm going to mostly cover the basics that are used within a randomizer, though. But if you can figure this stuff out, you can probably figure out how to edit your own stuff. Of course, all of this does pretty unique things. So you guys can have a ton of fun with that. 3 other tutorials that I will eventually do. How to dump your own OROS ROM using your own cartridge. I will not tell you where to get it illegally online. Or I will not give you one, obviously. This is illegal things. If you dump your own, I believe that is backup purposes. I'm not sure how tampering with ROMs affects it, but whatever. I've eventually, when I tell you to decrypt, or when I tell you to dump, it'll probably be the same as when I tell you to decrypt, and also probably the same as when I tell you to repack. All of that will probably be in one tutorial, which will come at a later time. This is the current tutorial. Now, these are all different ways to randomize. What I would like to start with is the personal editor. This one was already randomized. This one, you don't have a lot of warning. A lot of them, you have settings and stuff. This one, you pretty much just hit randomize and it will go. This will randomize types and everything. If you don't want this, don't go into here. Unless you want a difficulty ++. They did add this mode. It's a very interesting mode, and I actually I like it. It adds a lot of difficulty. If you hit it, it will go through, and this is what happens. It will go through all of the Pokemon. It will freeze eventually, probably around 2nd gen. Let it go. Just let it go. If you love it, let it go. It will freeze, and then it will eventually finish. Difficulty ++ is a type of... It's a modifier more than a randomizer. This was already pre-randomized because I hit randomize before I started this tutorial on accident. Essentially what this does, which you can see in the background for some reason, EXP yield is reduced by 50%, so you gain levels 50% slower. Level growth set to slow for everyone, so everyone grows really slow. And EV yields are all set to 0, so you never gain EVs. This makes everything incredibly difficult. Now, if you're just editing, this is a great way to edit Pokemon. Of course, these are already edited, but you can change their types. You can change pretty much anything you want here. Change their abilities. This is a way that we use to... There's loopholes you can find in here, and you can change pretty much any Pokemon. But the randomize button does exactly as said. Same thing with the difficulty. It will go through each Pokemon, eventually freeze around 2nd gen. Oh, wait. It's going. It's going. It's going. It's in 3rd gen. I've never seen it get this far. It's going all the way. Anyway, what this does is just randomize every single Pokemon to have random types, random items, random abilities. This is what I did for my Oros randomizer, was I randomized everything like this. And I have plans to randomize things in an Alpha Sapphire randomizer that goes beyond the randomization process of this program, but I will get into that later. So, basically what this does is just set random everything for every Pokemon. Makes them a poison type, bug type, fairy rock type, rock ghost type, dragon rock type, fire type, normal type, dark type, bug type. When it has the same type on both of them, it's just one type. It's not 2 types. So, you can't actually have an ice type. So this just randomizes everything, gives them random items, random abilities. But not everyone wants to do that for the randomizer. I just figured I would cover that first because when you hit randomize, it goes right into it. And I don't want people to think that you can have settings with that because you can't. So what I will also cover is the wild editor. This is a big one that a lot of people would love to do. Even if you don't want to randomize stats like Luke wouldn't want to, you can randomize pretty much everything from wild editor to trainer editor. These are the important ones. Mason editor isn't exactly something you'd play through exactly. And a lot of these, such as Mega Evo editor, Egg Move editor, don't really come in handy in a randomized run. If you're randomizing and you're going to play this game for the next 10 years, maybe you want to make an Egg Move randomizer, but it doesn't really make sense to do a lot of these. Level Up randomizer goes along with personal editor. That's the level up moves. If you're going to do the personal editor, such as all the Pokemon types and stuff, you might want to do the level editor too. Move editor, not so much. So, this, what you're looking at right now, is the every single encounter for every single location in the game. This is Mirage Caves. This is Mirage Forest. This is Route 108. Okay? This is every single... Now, some of these routes are water. This is all the land. This is all the water. You can set anything. You could customize this if you want. You can make a difficulty mod on your own. But you are here to randomize, aren't you? So, with this, it's a little bit different. In Horde, you have to go under Horde settings, and your randomizer settings are under Horde. I guess that was just to keep everything kind of compact a little bit. But this modifies all levels 50%. That will change it. The levels will go up or down a little bit for the, like, this kind of stuff. 50%, so that's just kind of randomized. You can do... Now, I believe they fixed it. The Dex Nav issue. Yeah, it looks like they did. With earlier randomizers, Dex Nav wouldn't be able to open because they had so many different Dex Nav options, but I believe they fixed that. So don't worry about that. Dex Nav should now work. This, you can pretty much set it to only randomize for Gen 1 Legend, or Gen 1 Pokemon. Set it so no legends appear, only game legends appear, only event legends appear. Randomized by BST. If you want every gen to appear, I would just click all of these. If you want it truly randomized, if you want just a Gen 1 playthrough, you can do that, I guess. Randomized by BST essentially looks at the base stat total of Zigzagoon, and it will look for Pokemon similar to him. This makes it a little more fair, but less random. So if you want that, that would kind of make it not fair, but more like you'll find Pokemon that make sense to an extent. And legends on or off if you want to get crazy. Modify levels, you can go all the way up to 100. That pretty much does all that. Changes the levels up. Very simple stuff. So, pretty much, that's pretty much all that I covered. Now I'm going to cover the trainer stuff. You have to give it time. These are Garks, and I talked about the Garks in the files. I showed you where all the information was stored. This unpacks and repacks Garks for you. There is a Gark unpacker repacker, but this does it relatively quickly, and it does a good job. So this program is absolutely exceptional for randomization. This is where your directory would be. I blocked mine out because I felt like it. This is how you would open your directory. You set up your directory as I showed you. I believe I showed you already. This is what your directory would look like. This is in its own folder, and you would set the directory on the pk3DS to that folder. So you hit open directory, go to that folder, not inside the folder, just the folder, and that would be the directory here. Obviously, you can change your language if you really feel like it. And the last thing I'm going to cover here is Trainer Editor. Now, the Trainer Editor actually, it's very in-depth, and it's probably my favorite part of a randomizer. What I did, if you're following the Omega Ruby randomizer that I'm currently doing, I randomized everything about the trainers. But this is every trainer. Again, if you wanted to make a difficulty mod, you could do that here. Pretty much everything. Every single trainer. All the way up to the Wallies and the Elite Four over here and Elite Four rematches, stuff like that. Everything is in here. Trencherman, whatever that means. But this is the randomize. Now, on this one, there's no like horde setting tab to hit the randomize settings. You hit randomize and this pops up. And this is pretty much all of your settings. Random Pokemon. Level boost modifier. That's kind of like a difficulty thing. Smart random. Base stat total. This again goes by the base stat of the Pokemon they naturally have. And then it will look for a Pokemon similar to that base stat total. And the level stat level boost modifier, random Pokemon. Random moves, you should get rid of these things if you're doing a normal Pokemon run, if you didn't randomize your Pokemon. This will give your Pokemon random moves completely, so they could have anything from Hyperspace Fury to Protect, doesn't really matter. Random held items, not as crazy, but still you should remove if you're doing a pure run. Random abilities, same thing. Max difficulty, this sets all their IVs to 31. This is like a difficulty mod. I don't know why it should be grouped with these, but this is kind of fun if you are doing a difficulty run. I think that's fun. Random trainer classes will reset, like say it says Champion Steven. Instead, it would say something like Pokemon Trainer Steven, Tuber Steven. This will also change the images that show up with them. So, max difficulty, trainer AI. All of the trainers do have AI. You can set them all to be super smart as if they were, I think the maximum AI, I don't know if it's Remax Steven or if it's Wally's final rematch when he has like Talonflame and stuff. But this will basically make them all really smart, able to switch, make smart switches, or to an extent as smart as computers could be. And then after battle gifts, that if you watch the randomizer, whenever someone doesn't say anything and then they give me an item and then they don't say anything again, that's what this is. And I don't know if they changed that, but I set it to 50 for the ORS randomizer because I think it's fun. You can set it to 100. That will make them always give you something after the battle, but it will also make them not have like words to say afterwards. You could set it to 0 if you want, or you could just unclick it if you want. It doesn't really matter. And then you hit OK and it'll go through that. I'm not going to do that obviously right now, but that's pretty much everything. And then all of this other stuff you can just edit. This is AI. Okay, AI all the way up to 255. I don't know how smart they're going to actually be. I believe Steven AI only has like 135. I don't know if that's Remax Steven. We can go to Final Wally. That's not Final Wally, is it? I don't know if any of these are Final Wally. No. Oh, yeah, maybe this one. Yeah, this one's Final Wally. Only has an AI level of 7. That's kind of interesting. But, so yeah, I guess the Steven has the maximum AI level. Pretty interesting. And that's how to use pk3DS. I hope this wasn't too randomly crazy for you. My tutorial style, I try to go pretty in-depth with everything. I try to explain everything to the best of my ability. Again, a lot of these aren't exactly useful. If you did a personal editor, you did randomized move types and whatever, you might want to go into level up editor and also change the level up moves. That makes things a lot more random, a lot more fun. Evolution editor, I don't believe has a randomizer, but I can check. I did not do that for Omega Ruby. But if I did... Oh, it does. It does have a randomizer, so I might as well cover that too, shouldn't I? Shouldn't I? Look at this. Look at this. Was not expecting this to have a randomizer. You can randomize the evolution. So, for example, Abra. Or you could do this yourself if you're having a fun mod. If you want to make Love Disc evolve into Imamula like it always should have. Phantom, if you randomize, and I've never actually done this, a box will come up and it says randomize all resulting species, evolution methods, and parameters will stay the same. So it won't change how you like evolve them. It would be really cool if they did add an option. You can go through it by hand, but that would be kind of annoying. If they did add an option to maybe make it level up instead of trade evolution for like trade evolutions, just for the in-game purposes. But you can randomize it, so I guess they will evolve into random Pokemon. I'm gonna hit randomize and just see where it goes. Sleepy Jirachi means it's loading. If you love my cursor, thank you. I made it myself. Of course, it's going to take a little while. But I believe it just takes every Pokemon that currently evolves and sets them to a random other Pokemon. I don't know if that includes legends or only Pokemon that are evolved into things. Okay, all Pokemons have been evolved, whatever. Randomized. So if we go into Whirlipede, for example, it will evolve into Chimecho. If we go to Wynot, for example, it'll evolve into Gallade. If we go into Wishcash, it will not evolve. See, so certain things won't evolve, but you can make them evolve if you really want to. And I know it's a weird concept, like Whisper evolving into Chikorita. This would be fun for a really crazy run. Charmeleon evolving into Steelix, but yeah. So that's pretty exciting. Pretty much butchering this clean ROM that I had, but this is all stuff. These are EXE-FS. This is your in here. So this is this stuff. This dot code here is pretty much your game, and a lot of this is in there. Pickup editor will change what a Pokemon, like the percentage chance of what an item they might find. Like they'll sometimes find rare candies. Instead, you could make them sometimes find old Gatus. This is a pretty random editor. TM HM editor. Now again, these don't load because they're not Garks, because they're directly in the game's files. You might want to be a little nice with these, I would say. The TM editor we can look at right here. You can randomize the TM editor if you want to. This will randomize all the TMs. I did do this. I did this actually. This was before the randomize button was here, so I did this by hand in my Oros randomizer. I did like a random list generator, stuff like that. But this is pretty fun if you really want to get into crazy randomization. Mart editor, move tutor editor. Again, kind of self-explanatory, but pretty exciting stuff. Again, I hope I do tend to carry on with these. I just get really excited about stuff like this. It will show you a prompt to rebuild ROM when you're done. I'm not going to because of... I mean, it already edits my Gark. Okay, where am I going with this? This was how to randomize or edit Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, or X and Y. I hope this helped. If you are not currently knowledgeable on how to dump your own Oros ROM, or decrypt your own Oros ROM, or repack your own Oros ROM, I will do a tutorial on those eventually. I have to set things up to do these, and also I need to research a lot of stuff. I need to research stuff like the public ways on how to repack a ROM, stuff like that. So, what I can give to you guys, there are tutorials that exist on how to dump your own ROMs. Obviously, people that figure this stuff out make tutorials. I will do a video tutorial on it eventually. I do plan on doing a video tutorial on it eventually. This is just pretty much how to use pk3DS. But, I hope this helped. I really, really hope this helped. And if it didn't, I mean, this is a fun program to play with regardless. I can't obviously give you a ROM, and I can't obviously give you my things. This is all illegal. This is illegal stuff. You can't give someone a ROM. You can't, I mean, you can download a ROM online, but that's illegal. I'm not saying you're going to go to jail, but I obviously cannot say you should do it. You cannot do it. It's illegal. Dump your own ROMs, people. And also, this covers pretty much everything. So I hope this helped. If this did help, it would help me if you left a like. When I do eventually make a tutorial on how to dump your own ROMs, decrypt your own ROMs, repack your own ROMs, I will put it here. I'll probably try to, if I remember, I will try to put like a screen link right here, or in the beginning of it, being like, oh, by the way, I made this now. So you guys can click there and go to that, but it is not currently ready, and I cannot tell you when I'm going to have it ready, because again, I do need to research a lot of stuff, need to make sure I know what I'm talking about. But again, I hope this helped. I hope you guys have fun with this, and I will see you all in the future.